Us for the conversation. NIIT Tech reported a strong quarter. Sudhir Singh is CEO of the company. Is joining us to take some questions, which we are reporting on. I mean, I think overall, because of an acquisition, Wishworks acquisition, numbers have been boosted. So I think the organic revenue growth, which is excluding the acquisition, constant currency revenue growth is about 4.1%, which is actually higher than companies like Mindtree, L&T, Infotech, etc. Mr. Singh, thanks for joining us again. Could you just, am I correct? The organic revenue growth is 4.1%. The rest is this acquisition?
You're absolutely right. The quarter-on-quarter organic constant currency growth is 4.1%. That comes on the back of a 4% organic quarter-on-quarter constant currency growth last quarter. So yes, your numbers are correct, and yes, we are pleased with the results that we've shown and declared yesterday.
Mr. Singh, good morning. So it's good news in an environment where some of your peers have actually been lowering their guidance. What exactly are you hearing on demand? What is your deal pipeline? I'm talking only organic right now. What's your deal pipeline looking like? And a colleague Rima was telling us that earlier there was an issue with one of your top 5 clients. They were looking at stabilizing revenues. If you could tell us what's happening there.
So at this point in time, as I suspect some of you might know, our exposure to the markets is very centered around clients in the capital markets buy-side area. It's very centered, pivoted around the travel and transport clients and insurance with a bias towards P&C. As we look out in the short to medium term at the immediate client side and the prospects that we're going after, we see the demand environment that we are staring at as being stable at this point in time. A lot of that obviously is playing into the results that you've seen from our end over the last, not just 2 quarters, but the last 10 odd quarters that the firm has declared.
There was weakness in one of the top 5 clients, Mr. Singh. I think we saw a budget cut, etc. How is that playing out, and have you seen any impact, or will we see an impact in the future quarters?
We've seen some amount of stability creeping up in that specific instance. There is residual weakness that still remains, and that's been an ongoing phenomenon over the last couple of quarters. We called it out yesterday when we declared our results as well. The results that you've seen over the last 2 quarters have come in after having baked in that impact. The both 4.1% constant currency organic growth this quarter and the 4% the previous quarter as well.
Could you talk about, which is this company?
We don't declare client-specific information. What we had called out last time around was this was one of our top 10 BFS clients.
But Mr. Singh, will this account continue to be run down? I mean, are you expecting contribution from this particular client to diminish and others to make up for it?
We called this out last quarter, and we've called it out again this quarter. This is weakness that we saw last quarter. This quarter, we've seen stability creeping into this particular relationship. We do not expect a drawdown in the volumes that we get from this particular client at this point in time.
Could you talk about how the rest of the year is going to look like? I mean, leave us with some full year numbers.
As a firm, we've never really offered a guidance into the future, but the first quarter has, and you've seen the numbers, has been good from our point of view. This quarter was a 19% year-on-year growth. We were talking about sequential growth right now. The demand environment, again, we referenced that, seems to be stable from our point of view in the sectors that we operate in. Quarter 3, which is the quarter we are in right now, is a quarter which tends to have a slightly abbreviated billing day cycle and a furlough impact. So we expect growth, but we expect growth in quarter 3 to be moderated. Overall, for the second half of the year, we will continue to attempt to make sure that the growth continues to be robust, continues to be predictable, continues to be profitable, and I suspect you've seen our margin numbers at 18.3% in quarter 2 as well in that line.
I was actually just coming to the margin bit. This 18.3% number on the margin, that's a very strong number as well. So again, what would be the sustainability of this?
We've sustained it for about 8 quarters. What we've also called out in the past, and I've always called out, is 18% is the new normal for NIIT Technologies. 18.3% is what we recorded in this particular quarter. We feel very good about where we brought the EBITDA. We think we can absolutely sustain it, and any incremental profits beyond this, plow that back into generating more revenue for the firm.
Have you undertaken wage hikes already for the year, Mr. Singh, or would that happen later down?
We've undertaken complete wage hikes. We have baked in the full cost of visas for the year into last quarter numbers, and 18.3% hence in that light is a number that we feel pleased about. More importantly, it's a number that we think is sustainable, and when we talk about growth being robust, predictable and profitable, that's where the margin element around the profitable piece bakes in.
Okay, all right, Mr. Singh, we'll wrap it up then on that note for this quarter. Thank you for joining in and giving us more details on your numbers. That's NIIT Tech, a strong quarter, and they're promising more of the same for the rest of the year as well. Well, here's a quick look at the dollar revenue picture of the company over the last 3 years. We'll just get the bars up for you on the screen. That's, of course, the first half that we've got so far, but it's been very steady. FY 17, 18, and 19, there's been steady uptrend on the top line. Let's pull up the profit numbers and the profit trends right now for NIIT Tech. Again, this is the same 3-year period we're looking at. So, marked jump in profitability in FY 19 over 18. And first half, they have already covered half of the profits of last year. So, let's see how the second half goes. That's NIIT Tech at the end of Q2. We'll take a break on that note. On the other side, we come back, discuss the markets. We'll get our technical experts, Mitesh Thakkar, and we'll also